Hi, happy day. Welcome back to my channel. Or hi, thank you for Hi, happy day. Thank you for visiting my channel. If you're new here, my name is Miriam. I am an intuitive, an oracle. I read numbers. I speak with your angels and guides, and for whatever reason, I'm supposed to be saying stuff to you, or I'm gonna be saying stuff. Period, and you're gonna be hearing it. And for some reason, it's just gonna make sense to you, you know. So, hi. um, Today is January 15th at 7:26, and I almost posted a video last night. And the only reason why I'm not posting it is because I do think it would be very triggering to people. Um, when I got this message through, it was at 6:56 p.m. Ooh, 7:27 as I say this. Last night I got a message so channeled so hard that I was having a. Oh, I'm already sweating. Yes, I am saying the things. I promise. It's coming out. Just last night, it's almost like I got somebody's feelings and emotions like thrust into my like somebody was saying, just understand how I feel. Just understand it. Um and maybe it's not specifically to me, but I think it was just to anyone who could get it, who could understand this honestly disturbing scenario that you are put in with your body a lot of times. Um, and quite honestly, even whenever you're quite high vibes, I can hear that there are still those remnants of all the harshness, all the mean, all the you're not good enough, all the well, now look at you, you're sick again, you're sick. So, 6:56 hits. I look over. I see the 6:56 hit on the time. And then, woo, in my gut. Felt like I was going to vomit. Felt like I needed to just like expel everything. I literally just went to the restroom. Had to finish, like, okay, I'm about to go drive home. Yet here I was, all of a sudden, full of emotion, full of excrement, full of fear, full of so many things. And all I could say was, take it from me, 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 please take it from me, please take it from me. And I just saw a little kid begging, please take this from me. Why am I so mean? Why are you so mean to me? Why are you so mean to me? Because even in those thoughts, because these aren't ways that I usually am like, this isn't my usual pattern. Like, even in those thoughts, it was like, I'm over here freaking out because of this thing that's been. And then I start to think, nobody's going to want to support you. Like, your family's going to think you're crazy. You're going to this, you're that. And all these things that were kind of like going through things that I've never really believed before, because my family, it don't matter if I'm crazy. They love me. I'm spoiled. The person that I'm with loves me. And I am very comfortable in my relationship. Yet here, all of a sudden, it was like, nobody's going to want you because of how sick you are, because of what your stomach does to you, because of what your mind does to you, because of all these things. Why would anybody love you? Because you don't love you. And I'm just like literally being attacked. This is somebody's everyday life. This is somebody's regular. That's been happening to them regularly. And sometimes you don't know which comes first. Is it the stomach that causes your mind to go crazy, or is it your mind that makes your stomach go crazy? And sometimes it's one or the other, and it's switching back and forth. So like I said, I was going to post that video because I just, honestly, it was making me feel better to record it. Um, but to be safe, I did watch it back. And honestly, I think it would be too much for the individuals who are actually feeling this on a regular basis. And to see how much pain my face was contorted into, even though I wasn't necessarily in pain. I wasn't in pain. I was in extreme discomfort that didn't have to do with growth that I knew of. It was extreme discomfort and fear. And then I got angry. I got mad. I got super like pissed off because I was so upset and mean to myself, and I just started like, don't fucking talk to me like that. Do you know who I am? I own this body. I run this body. But it was no small message. And when it comes down to it, although you are a very loving person and giving person, it is so difficult for you to understand what it's like to get something in return for nothing. You specifically will give people stuff for nothing. You specifically will pour and pour and pour and pour and pour, and nobody's even earned it. Yet everybody makes you jump through hoops to get it. Even if they don't realize that they're doing it, you're looking at the hoops. You're actively moving through them in order to get their acceptance or love or whatever. And it's like now, especially with the full moon, so much has been illuminated. And I believe Christ said something like in the Bible about how there will be signs in the moon and the stars and the sun. Stuff like that. And I think the moon highly affects this phase for you. I think that you're someone in a space where like the moon for you is a big, and whenever I say you're in a space, like I mean like actual geographically, sometimes where you are in the world affects certain things of whatever celestial being is near. And so like where I'm at, I've got my moon line or something. So moon does affect me. And then they have another line. I don't know. I don't remember those things fully until I actually need them in an argument or something. But with that full moon, I think this was a bit of a shock to you. I think this was a bit of surprise to you because you've been doing a lot better. You haven't been feeling that sickness. You haven't been so mean to yourself. You've been really chill with yourself, honestly. And then here comes this time. The self-love is needing to expand. The love for yourself is going to expand simply because it's meant to. Like, even this being brought to your attention was a way for you to know that, hey, here's the assignment, here's the mission, here's the mission, here's the mission. I know that you might want to do a side quest or something, and that's okay. But sometimes if you are doing side quests and you're not doing the main mission, that one thing that's still bothering you is going to keep bothering you, and that's okay. Because other things are getting accomplished. Like, there's this game called World of Warcraft. And depending on who you are, you either love it, or you're pretty indifferent about it. But a lot of people who play this game, World of Warcraft, play it because it is a goal-oriented game. Although there may not be like huge story arcs in it, but there's lots of expansions and stuff. It's a computer game. And a lot of times people who play it can fall into this almost like addiction to it. And where they've been playing it their whole lives and keep playing it and all that. And sometimes people just, you know, and then they are mean to themselves when they are so interested in playing this game all the time. But in that game, because it's goal oriented, it says go get 20 pelts, go get 15 this, go get something that, and then you go and get all these things. So you're getting those little dopamine kicks, but it's not necessarily a rapid dopamine kick. It's semi-rapid. It's an in-between, because it's not like boop, scroll, here's the thing, boop, scroll, here's the thing. It's a, okay, I got a mission, let me go do all these things first, and do all of these things first, and build up to this one big thing. Because it's like, yeah, I get 20 pelts, but they also want you to get 15 other things and 60 other things and all that, all in one mission. So you're I said stuck is what I wanted to say. You're stuck. But that isn't what I was trying to say intellectually. Um perhaps you do feel stuck though in this type of game where here's the goal, here's the this, here's the goal, here's the this, I mean, it honestly even reminds me of sales and a lot of like working a job for other people. Granted, being your own boss is a lot harder, or a lot of work, and there's not a lot of support when it comes to doing your own thing. I just want to ask you specifically, how much support are you receiving right now in comparison to how you would if you went and trusted yourself on your journey? Because quite honestly, a lot of times people think that they're getting support, but they aren't. And it's just quite simply because everybody has their own life. At 7:37 a.m. as I say this, everybody has their own life and their own agendas and their own goals and their own path and their own hearts and pains and healing that they have to do. So even whenever people have your best interest in mind, they still are going to be filtering it through what is best for them. Even if they're like kind of like a self-sabotaging people, or it's a person who like isn't really good to themselves or whatever, it is still their soul's journey to establish the best version of themselves in some way. And so sometimes, like say if you're the sick person and you're trying to get better, for once, whenever you're sick, because you've been such a giver, that's whenever you start to see who is actually there for you, and you get surprised by the amount of people who are there for you. Like it's usually the other way around. People are like, "Oh, now I see I'm so alone," but honestly, you're confirmation biasing yourself. Because quite literally, I could say I'm alone all the time too. Oh, I'm so alone, I'm so alone, I'm so alone. I'm literally sitting in my room semi-alone. But when I look over, I do have a dog. Whenever I look in the air, there are dust particles. There could be a who on those. I'm not alone. But I really used to believe I was. I really used to feel I was misunderstood. And I was. I was misunderstood. But that's part of it. Not everybody's meant to understand. And that's okay. And sometimes, you learn something and you don't put it into practice right away. And then it comes to you whenever you need it. Like you learned it long ago, and all of a sudden now it's a time that you could use it. And you didn't have to go look it up to remember it. Something long ago you comprehended. And so then whenever you're having to access that now, it was not difficult for you. Even though there are times whenever you've learned a lot of stuff and it's kind of been difficult to access that knowledge. Quite simply, some knowledge is for people, some knowledge is not. And some knowledge is meant to be spread by certain people, and some knowledge is meant to be, don't say that. But it's also that same person is meant to say it to certain people, but to other people, it's like, why the hell are you saying that? I don't know you. You crazy. So it's like, it could be either or. So what I recommend, especially if you're an individual who is feeling this, because also I keep going like this, to my heart chakra, to my solar plexus. Okay? Heart chakra, solar, or like kind of my belly button too. I got big hands. And so there's this disconnect in between like trusting your gut instinct and trusting your heart. And so it kind of goes like this back and forth. It feels like you're on a roller coaster, like you're being dropped, and all of a sudden your stomach is in your heart and you're just having to scream. Like literally have to stem and scream and get it out, because otherwise you feel it. Otherwise you vomit or something is not right. I made it home driving through that. And I was driving like this and mad. And what I kept noticing is my eyes were just darting all around, all around, all around, all around, all around. And it's like if I stayed just looking at the car in front of me, or like, I mean, granted, I'm never really just looking at the car in front of me. I'm looking all around anyway, but this was like erratic, as if I was looking for a threat. Yet I was driving home, the commute that I have all like often, and but it quite literally felt like I was being chased again, like I was being hunted down again. And I was trying to find a way to escape. I was trying to find a way to get away from my thoughts. I was trying to find a way to get away from this feeling, this channeling. And sometimes I have to let you know, especially the people who are watching this, because most likely you have gifts, and a lot of times those gifts are like are paired with like not necessarily consequences to the gift itself, but consequences to how you prepare yourself to use those gifts. So essentially, if you're using a gift and giving it all the time, but then also not understanding that in order to use a rocket, you need rocket fuel, all of a sudden your gift's not working because you're not getting any rocket fuel? What? That doesn't make any sense. Okay. 7:43. But anyway, I'm looking around and I just can't stop looking and observing and taking things in, but only taking things in and telling myself, no, 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 nothing out, nothing out, nothing out, nothing out, nothing out, nothing out, nothing out. But it's almost like an inner child saying, please no more. Please stop giving. Please stop giving. We don't have enough for ourselves. So please stop. Why are you so mean to me? Please don't be mean to me anymore. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm just trying to be happy. And I think for the first time, like actually turning to yourself and having that conversation and not saying, why are you so mean to me? Can really help unlock, because that's a shadow question. You know, it's like, why are you so mean? Why are you so mean? But not just mean in general. Why are you so mean to me? You live in my soul. You live in my body. You live in my mind, and yet here you are berating me, and you don't have an answer. And even if it does have an answer, which says something like, "Well, you smell like a fart, and you look like a something," you know, and and that could be its response. But then simply observing it and seeing where that comes from, and realizing, what is the age of this voice? What are the words of this voice? Because even asking, why are you so mean to me, wasn't an adult voice. That's a child's voice. So essentially, most likely you have been dealing with this since a kid. I mean, which is normal. It's not funny. It's normal. Because most people's traumas happen in childhood. Just how it is. There's so much stuff going on. It's so confusing. And trauma comes from fear and lack of stability. And to be quite honest, like, our bodies aren't stable, our minds aren't stable, our emotions aren't stable, and the adults who are around us, depending on the adults you had, sometimes they don't really have, they were never given the tools to actually be better with their emotions, so they're still adults, or they're still kids in adult bodies. And here you are trying to learn how to be kind to yourself. And I gotta say, that's something to be proud of. Because even from hearing that those small moments that felt like an eternity, by the way, I went to sleep early. Last night I was pretty drained and exhausted after that. Um, After alchemizing that. And so just be proud of yourself for making it through those things, for making it through the sickness. Even if it comes back and you're dealing with the sickness again at another time, and this moment, you're not dealing with it. There's this one song that, oh, I'm going to cry even thinking about it. There's a America's Got Talent Golden Buzzer audition. And I watch a lot of Golden Buzzer auditions. And one of them was Nightbird. And the story of Nightbird is she is a singer, moved to California, and you look at her and you can see that she's thin. And she's got short hair. And she's got a smile on her face. And she talks about her cancer diagnosis, where she has like 1, 2, or 3% chance to survive. And she sings a song that she wrote herself. And it's it's difficult for it to come out. It's honestly a little bit personal for me, but whenever I was going through a really dark night of the soul and just trying to make it through, I would listen to her song, and the line, "If you're lost, we're all a little lost, and it's all right. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. If you're lost, we're all a little lost, and it's all right, it's all right. It's all right, it's all right, it's all right. And it's okay to be a little lost. It's okay to be really lost." And I think a lot of people like to pretend like they have their life so together. And it just doesn't work like that. Literally nobody has their life together. Even whenever they have it the most together, souls have to work and grow and change, and they all have assignments to grow. And so I just want to let you know, if you're feeling a little lost right now, it's okay. Like, we're all supposed to be a little confused doing this. Because it's like, you're doing it for the first time, even if you're doing it for the 1,000th time. This is the first time, no matter whatever you believe, this is your first time in this body. This is your first time being this age. This is your first day being at this day and this point in time. This is the first second of the next part of your life right now, right now, right now, right now. That's why they say the present is a gift. It literally says it's a present. A lot easier said than done. Whenever there's so many things that are meant to take you out of it and meant to turn you around on your journey. Because you hear an owl over there in the dark forest, and you can hear a cougar too. What? Who's going to get you, the owl or the cougar? Why are you so afraid of owls? You ain't even a mouse. You better walk in the direction of the owl and stay away from that cougar. But you're so scared, any noise scares you. Because you're in a dark forest. Until you realize that sometimes there's not only predators in the forest. There's prey too. You become a predator. Sorry, that's not funny. They're a werewolf. That's honestly what it felt like last night. It felt like what it looks like in the scenes whenever they're like, and now I'm a monster. It felt like I was going through a radical transformation. And I think sometimes you really think you're a monster. And the thing is, too, you may have done some stuff in your past that you regret. Maybe you were a bit more manipulative. Maybe you weren't realizing that you were taking advantage of people in some ways because you are somebody who gives so much. Maybe there are things that you did that you don't even know why you did them. You were just doing them. And maybe you do know a little bit. Maybe sometimes it was for attention. Maybe it was because of insecurity. Maybe it was because of whatever, whatever, whatever. And I feel like a little bit you're just so afraid to be seen for who you are because you don't know all the way who yourself is going to be yet. Like you don't trust that it's going to be a cool person, and they are. They're cool. Um, and so there's this voice that's next to it. Like anytime you do something else, it's like, oh well, that's cringe, or oh you're being this, or oh you're that. Like whatever thing that's in your head that's ever criticizing you, like a lot of times that's just ego. Because tell me how many times. Tell me how many. Okay? How many times have you been in your head being like, shut up! Don't tell me how beautiful and amazing I am. I hate that. Don't tell me how gorgeous and awesome and how many lives I'm changing. Stop. You think I'm special and amazing? No! You're not. You're not. And if you are, that's fine. Do you. There's also something in that won't let you accept your beauty. In both of them. Either way. But when you're freaking out, you're not saying, no, everybody loves me and they understand me. Why would they do that? Why would they give me unconditional care? They're not. They're just loving you. And instead, the voices in your head, and that's what I'll call them, so you can feel extra crazy. They rude. They rude. Quit inviting them over. Anyway, I'm done. That's it. I'm gonna leave. Today's my 2 day, so I can't really plan. So I'm not gonna tell you what my plans are. I don't really have any plans. I mean, you could see on my. No, you can't see on my calendar probably, but if you do, that most likely. And then, yeah, whoever was going through that, I'm sending you much love. Sending much love to all you guys in general. Anyway, deuces. And in the meantime, lovies, keep a lookout for the numbers and stay synchronized.